bus. Before I say anything else, I do want to say a big thank you to iHoops, to the Trades Council, and all of the Islington unions for the effort and support and money that they put into this campaign, because it is absolutely fundamental to everything that we're doing. And I listened on the radio this morning, as I'm sure others did, to the reports of David Cameron's speech which he was making in Germany today, and I just thought, this man is out of touch, out of date, and out of time. He wants to come to our borough, where we are thousands of people, we are many, many different languages, we are people from every country in the world and from this country and every part of this country. This is a community working together, recognising its own identity and its collective purposes. We don't need lectures from David Cameron to tell us that multiculturalism has failed when it's working here. This is where we're proud of it. And I hope that he understands that. If he wants it, I'll invite him over here to some wider discussions. I think he's going to want to come somehow. Listen, these cuts that are going on affect everybody. And I want to say, particularly to the young people that are affected by them. I've been the MP for Islington North, and I'm very proud to have been so since 1983. We went all through the cuts of the 1980s. The brutality of the attack on the miners' strike, the brutality of the attack on the steel workers, and so many others, finally brought down by the poll tax. Those cuts were vicious, those times were bad, and unemployment reached 20% in this borough. The cuts that are now being made in welfare benefits, in local authority expenditure, in government investment, in health expenditure, are far, far greater than anything Thatcher did in the 1980s. And what happened in the 1980s was unemployment rose, there was a lost generation. Those young people grew up not going to college, not going to university, not getting a job. They are the parents of the generation that are now desperate to get a job when they finish college or university education. Youth unemployment has now reached 20% in this country. It's probably, and I'm pretty sure of this, much higher in the inner city areas. My heart goes out to those young people. That is why it is a crime to take away the educational maintenance allowance. That was the one thing that was the ladder towards university education. It was the one thing keeping young people in college, the one thing helping hard-up families to encourage young people to go through university or go on to university. Then to raise fees by 300% to £9,000 per year. And as if that isn't enough, the Russell Group of universities want the cap lifted altogether so that they can charge £20,000, £30,000, £40,000 per year because they know they can get it. This is destroying a generation and destroying the opportunities for a generation. It's evil, it's wrong, and above all, it's not necessary. The banking crisis of 2008 wasn't caused by disabled people, wasn't caused by single parents, wasn't caused by students, wasn't caused by people on the housing waiting list, wasn't caused by people using our hospitals. It was caused by deregulation, by greedy bankers, by people that are now making a lot of money of selling bonds to countries that are trying to get out of this crisis. There is something fundamentally wrong with a free market system that blames the public sector and the use of the public sector for the greed of the bankers of 2008 and before that. We need to keep the banks in public ownership. We need them work for the public, not off the public. That has to be the right way forward. And I'll just conclude with this thought. The demonstrations around Europe, in Greece, in Spain, in Portugal, in France, in Germany, in Italy, in Poland, in Latvia, in Lithuania, in Sweden, all over Europe, people are demonstrating because they object to their governments following neoliberal economic policies which impoverish the poor, give more money and wealth to the very wealthiest, and then slice up public services for sale to the private sector. It's been going on for a long time in what we choose to call third world countries in Africa and Latin America. Young people have risen up in Tunisia and Egypt. Young people are rising up all around the world. They're not prepared to put up with mass unemployment. They're not prepared to be the next lost generation. We're not going to be that lost generation. Please do all you can to oppose the cuts and defend the principle of the welfare state and public services. And above all, come in your tens of thousands. We want 1 million and more on the streets of London on March the 26th. Numbers matter. This lot are not as strong as they pretend to be, not as confident as they pretend to be. Be there on March the 26th, and let's get something going. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks very much, Jeremy. Jeremy did mention manufacturing. I think one of the differences between now and what Thatcher did